Previously on Household. In the Pinewood Forest, our heroes followed Gwen's map to Argo, the bureaucrat's rumored resting place. The forest became dense and dark, making travel difficult. Humphrey scouted for threats, while Litha guided the team through the underbrush, assisting Santiago and Gwen. A distant animal scream put them on alert, and Humphrey soon found tracks of a giant centipede, possibly the fog giant, before meeting Lena from the Blue Flame Den. Wary, he returned to the group as they approached the Dreadwood, known for its dangerous spores. They rested uneventfully, despite the oppressive environs. Entering the Dreadwood, ashen mold and spores created an eerie setting. Santiago collected valuable mushrooms, while Litha and Humphrey spotted shadowy shapes. Gwen, momentarily separated, discovered a cave under a massive ornament, Argo's resting place. Suddenly, Tri-Star Regiment soldiers appeared, demanding their surrender. Humphrey and Litha began to comply, but Santiago suggested retreating into the cave. Tensions were rising when a soldier insulted Humphrey, prompting him to retaliate. This cliffhanger leaves our heroes in a standoff with armed foes, with the mystery of Argo's resting place at their fingertips, yet still to be uncovered. What will they do next, amidst the threats of the Tri-Star soldiers and the Dreadwood itself?
Oh, Matt.
We're live. What is it?
Our
video
frames,
feed has gone a bit funny.
Video windows are.
Thank you for the shout out. Let's just fix that.
Very welcome.
There we go. Hello. Let us know if you can hear us, and also please let us know if the background music is too loud. This is the first time we're using background audio while we're playing. So, and I think I can see black bars beneath the two of you as well. Hold on there. That's not good.
Oh yeah.
Something's gone a bit skewy there. There we go. Nope. Carmen's still got a black bar underneath. Nope. There we go. It was all lined up perfectly before we went live. So yeah, if people could just confirm about the background music. If it's too loud, I can turn it down a bit. It's turned down quite low, but yeah, if it's a bit distracting, then just let us know. We can turn it down a little bit more. Just a quick shout out to the service Scribe, which is a new recap service for actual plays, which I'm trying out. There's a link down in the description if you want to check it out. But it's basically a new service that will listen to your it will listen to an actual play, make a transcript of it automatically, and then generate a recap which you can go in and edit, and then it reads it back. And it does use machine learning, which is very similar technology to AI, but it's not actually doing anything. The guy who's created it has been very careful not to use any audio that isn't already available through Creative Commons, and he's actually also paid people to use their audio for various background tracks you can use. He also doesn't use any art, so he's not using any AI art. So he's being very careful to stay on the right side of this big debate around artificial intelligence. And machine learning is something that's been around for a long time, and in my opinion, it's the way. I don't think this will turn into an AI discussion, but as we've got three artists in the group as well, I've kind of sprang the recap on them as well. I just want to kind of just talk about it. I did have a very long discussion with the creator about this, and yeah, there's a number of things that use what's called machine learning that are used to kind of improve our lives and free us up to be more creative, like language translation, for example. There's a whole bunch of things that are basically not stepping on the toes of creatives. They're not trying to be doing creative things, and this falls under the category of machine learning that I'm happy to happy to endorse. But if people want to have the discussion, feel free to leave a comment and lambast me. I'm happy to have the discussion. We'll probably do a separate video at some point talking about the service, going over their terms and conditions, the models that they use, etc. But yeah. Anyway, so that was the recap. I don't need to do a recap then. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting session because of the cliffhanger we ended on previously. Humphrey decided to
kick things off.
To kick off. So we're just going to pick up right where we left off. You're surrounded by about a dozen guards, fairy guards wearing tri-starred uniforms. There's the leader of the group standing in front of Humphrey, probably about 2 meters away, I would say. Suggest something like that, maybe a little bit more, but not too far away. Not quite within grabbing distance, but yeah, not too far away. There are all of these fairies have what you assume are loaded keyskets pointed at you. Literally every single one of them is armed with a keysket. You also notice that they have blades on their hips as well, holstered currently. And yeah, as soon as Humphrey has attacked the one that came up close to him, you see the captain take a step back and raise his hand. We'll basically pause it there and find out what exactly your plan is now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's about to say something. Yeah.
Okay.
What was Humphrey gonna do?
Letha. Yeah.
Okay. No.
Go.
I would say Humphrey would go Juggernaut and yeet Letha to the ornament, to the cave. But if you want to say something, I think Humphrey would just like grab the rifle that was pointed to his face and shove it out of his head, while the soldier I kicked in his crown jewels is probably like just
he's doubled over. Yeah.
Wiggling in agony. Yeah. Hi, Sandra.
Okay, so you're gonna take a moment to see what this guy has to say. Yeah? Okay. With his hand in the air, he says, "If these littlings are not on their knees by the time my arm falls, you may shoot them." And he splays his fingers out and says, 5. His arm starts going down a bit as he tucks his thumb in. Yeah?
Hold, littling. Aren't you brave enough to meet me in battle, just you and I? Come to the cave.
4. On your knees, scum.
Got an idea, Santiago?
Go to the cave! And I'll pull out my gun and shoot him.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, Matt, you take so much thought in it just to save our fucking life. Oh no! Oh,
there's the F-bomb. How many minutes in?
The first 15 minutes. I'm so sorry, everyone. And now those damn players are ruining it again.
I'll try to make him duck or something so we can try to escape. That's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also want to say this isn't going to help anyone in the live chat, but for people who are watching this after it's gone live, I just recalled I should have mentioned there's a big content warning for this episode. I'm not going to say what it is because my players need to be surprised a little bit with it. But go to the description if you're watching this after it's gone live, and you'll see what the content warning is.
Cool.
Yeah, live people. I don't want to risk anyone seeing it initially. I did talk about. I don't want to spoil anything, but
no, don't spoil.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
take a shot. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I did kind of think you would. This is following what you were kind of planning to do anyway. I just wasn't sure you would actually go through with it. Okay.
Oh well. That's
So-
I feel like Humphrey kicked it off from the start. So 5 dice, right?
You are making a. Give me a second.
Shot. Or is
Let's
it?
look at your sheet? It's it's definitely a shoot plus street roll.
So 5 dice.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give you any kind of benefits here. You don't have a move that you can use either for this specific one.
I can use the docking later on. I have
Sure.
two pair. So that's 2 basic, right?
Yeah. Do you want to push that, or do you want to? I should say push. That's a bit year 0 engine-y, but
yeah.
Do you want to re-roll one of the one?
I have
remaining?
1 die to re-roll. That's. Ooh. Oh yeah, gambling is fun. Oh yeah, it worked. I have 3 threes and 2, so I have a full house. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, yeah, you fire your pistol. You see it hit the captain. Just as he's saying 3. And he kind of like tries to turn out of the way, but isn't able to move quite quick enough, and it catches him in the shoulder. And he kind of spins around and drops his hand. And that's when all hell is going to break loose.
We are running, hopefully.
Yeah.
I want to do a little something if you let me.
Yeah, say what it is first. There's definitely time while Santiago's pulling out his gun and shooting. There's a moment there, yeah.
Because everyone, I mean, Humphrey just kicked it off, and I figure like Lisa is like, okay, we're doing this, and I mean, it's a Christmas tree, so I suppose there are other Christmas ornaments hanging above us. I would love to bring one down. I mean, they are made of glass, and I figure like a hail of glass shards would kind of possibly hurt everyone, but also distract this mass of people, so we might get away.
They're also quite big, so I'm happy for there to be one visible, and because there's so many of them around, it's when it shatters, it's quite possibly going to hurt some of them. So for sure, go ahead and give me a. Yeah. Oh, this is also going to be, I guess it's still a shoot plus street roll, because you are taking aim at something. And
that's a good thing for me.
Right, you do get a free re-roll on shooting as well because of your sharpshooter
and
trait.
the +1 because of the weapon, right?
And your weapon gives you a +1. That's right. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Shouldn't forget that.
I got 7 dice.
Which Humphrey gets as well.
Yep.
My weapon is on the ground, so
yeah,
I put my weapon down already.
You're gonna be at the back as all the bullets are flying.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a critical and a regular success.
Okay.
Whoop.
Will that do it?
You may as well push it to see if you can get higher, because you get a free reroll.
Yeah.
That means you don't lose.
That's
you don't
true.
lose anything.
That's true.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true. Then let's get it. Ooh, which brings it to an extreme.
Woo!
Oh, right. Okay. So four of a kind. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. You kind of like glance up. You see. I mean, remember this is very foggy, but you see just one, and it's kind of like just a little bit off to your left, but not too far away. And it's it's clearly the underside of a round glass ornament. Even though it's coated, we imagine it's glass, it's coated in this in these spores, and it's very easy to shoot. But with an extreme success, you definitely hit it at a point near the top, so it smashes through whatever the top of it looked like, where it had the hook coming out. So you kind of just broke through the top of it, and the whole thing comes kind of falling down, hanging in midair as we as we do the reaction roll first, because this is all happening kind of in my head. This is all happening simultaneously. Santiago shoots the captain, or this we'll call him the captain. He drops his hand. They all start shooting. Letha at the same time is pulling up and shooting as well. Humphrey is dropping to pick up his weapon. I'm assuming this is all happening simultaneously.
I would go Juggernaut instead.
You're gonna go Juggernaut. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You go Juggernaut. Gwen just turns and starts to run for the entrance to the tomb. She's waiting for you to be meat shields at the very least.
Yeah.
So the first thing we're gonna do is your action is to go Juggernaut. Does that? Let me just have a quick look at what that means exactly.
I don't know if that's an action, but I have sorted it out. I have marked it in the book. It's like
it's in the
when going
your character
Juggernaut
sheet too. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Like the whole text from the book is in there.
All right. But yeah.
It doesn't say that it takes an action to activate it, but it I would say this current action, because everything's happening simultaneously, we're going to say that you start to go Juggernaut, so that it won't apply to this specific reaction turn coming up, but it will as soon as this reaction turn is up. It's going to be actions again, and then it'll be applying for you from there.
Okay, that's sad, but because I was really hoping for this ripple with powerful muscles as hard as numismatic metal to help me in those reaction rolls. But anyway, yeah. Let's do this. Yeah.
I just think I mean because they're basically firing at you almost immediately after the gun goes off. I think it's I don't think you would have had time to, because it's not instantaneous, right? You're kind of like starting to bulk up. And they've got you dead to rights. So I'm gonna play it like that. So everybody needs to make a reaction roll to dodge the bullets coming in. And let me just quickly look up exactly what that needs to be.
Yeah. I might use bravado instead.
True.
What do you mean?
Bravado.
Instead of what?
Instead of ducking bullets, I can dodge bullets
you can use your
without rolling dice.
You got to spend one of your aces to do that, but yeah.
Do I have to do that? Then I'll do that. I think it's the scene to do it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't actually need to make a roll. Which is good. It's going to be illusion to dodge incoming fire. So illusion is one of your street. It's under the street section.
Yeah. I'm kind of good at this, though. Take cover only.
I'm not bad at it actually, but okay.
Yeah, same. So like, take cover is that only Mike, Humphrey, and a friend. I cannot give this bonus to two friends, and Humphrey takes the hit instead, right?
Take cover the move. Either you and a friend hide quickly, or you or a friend automatically dodge some bullets and attack or move. Yeah, so it's you pick one person.
Yeah.
And you can dodge some bullets.
That I pick Letha
without rolling.
Who's standing behind me, sort of, and I just duck down, just like pulling Letha down with me, maybe, and dodging.
So you need to tick it, and then at the top where it says aces up the sleeve, you need to pick which one. Decide. Actually, I think it's determined by which one you're using, right?
No, not yet. We have one use per session free, and if we want to use it a second time, we have to use an ace. Yeah. Okay. We I mentioned it beforehand. Before we went.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should unmark my marked one then.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna use it anyway, so.
Yeah, we've been playing that wrong then the whole time. It's just this bit here. You can use every. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't quite get that when you were explaining it this earlier too. I thought, okay, Yep.
You were in the middle of technical stuff as well, so I get that.
All right, you're more epic than previously thought. So the bullets ring out, and this was going to be a very, very hard roll to dodge, but because of your moves, you're able to somehow, all three of you, not take any damage. But we're gonna make a roll for Gwen. Does somebody want to roll for Gwen?
Ooh.
She's illusion plus street is she gets 4 dice, and she doesn't unfortunately get anything to help with that. Oh, in fact, minus she's also scared, so she has -1 in street, so she's only rolling 3 dice.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's suitable. Humphrey does that. It's my responsibility.
Yeah, my responsibility. I did not prepare well after, but this is nope. Can she reroll like a player character? I know I can't even reroll because I don't
at
even
least a basic.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. Gwen's dead now. Sorry.
So this is a triple critical, which means she takes 9
Oh
stress.
no!
9 stress.
Yikes! Does that mean 9 boxes?
And that also means, yep. That also means, I'm just going to show this very quickly here. When she gets to the 8 stress box, it's a crucial box. And that means it's starting to get to you. You immediately suffer condition appropriate to the circumstances. It's definitely going to be hurt. +1 in war. Okay. And then she takes another one as well. I think there's a thing. Let me just check this because I believe there might be a rule when you take the crucial box, you don't take any more. It kind of stops there. Anything extra, which might help her a little bit here. I do believe I remember reading that. Sorry about this. I just want to make sure she's not taking more damage than she needs to because this is a massive hit.
Yeah.
Conditions.
Well, she needs to live. She needs to write the book. Santiago is not going to write any books.
He's not, is he?
Probably not, no. He's getting bored by reading a small article.
It doesn't. I'm not seeing anything here about it. Crucial box. When you fill in the crucial box, it means the stress is beginning to get to you. Nope, it doesn't say anything about it. Okay, so she's gonna take the full 9 stress there, as well as taking the hurt condition. And I just want to very, very quickly check on the conditions because I think when you take... She's got 3 conditions now. And I think... Okay, when you already have 3 conditions and suffer a 4th, you become broken. So she's right on the edge, right? She takes a big... Maybe she takes like 2... She gets hit twice or something. But they're not life-threatening hits, but she's definitely hit by some bullets. You can see her kind of like rocking a bit as she's hit, but she stumbles kind of into the entrance to this like underground area that goes below the I kind of said it was like a cave entrance, didn't I, last time? So it's kind of there's this broken ornament, and there kind of is an opening into the between underneath the floorboards going down into it. And she kind of like stumbles just into the entrance of that. Now, obviously with firing weapons, there's time needed to reload. This is, they don't get to do semi-automatic bang, 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 bang. So as soon as that first shot is off, and just as your action is about to start, the ornament comes down and does stress to them equal to the extreme. Was extreme plus what? Plus normal or extreme plus critical?
It was an extreme success and nothing else more.
Plus.
Okay.
Didn't you have a pair as well? No.
It's fine.
Yeah, you did have a pair.
I had a regular.
Yeah, but that,
as well, but I didn't know. Did that?
But you pay for that, of course.
But it's an extra success that you can carry forward.
Yeah.
Well, extreme
Yeah.
is good enough, I would say. Right, Letha?
Probably.
I had a employer once who said perfect is good enough.
So you can use a basic action. There's a free basic action you can take.
All right.
With that one, we can say it happens now because we're kind of trying to do this a bit like loose at the moment, because at least this first action and reaction, because I wanted to kind of try and be simultaneous. But yeah, so you've done 3 stress with that extreme. Okay.
All righty.
So. We're back into the action phase now. So over to the 3 of you. You've successfully dodged. Humphrey is now massive. Well, we could say, like, you definitely wanted to go Juggernaut, right?
Well, I started it, so there's not
Okay.
much need more for it anymore, but I started it, so I have to go through with it, I suppose.
Okay.
Santiago realizes I need to be in the cave before Humphrey tries to go inside. He's gonna run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna not be outside the cave if you get stuck.
Okay.
Okay, I will also going to run and usher Snotty with us.
Oh yeah.
And then just encourage her to run. Like, we are bolting for it.
Snotty wasn't being targeted. They were all kind of targeting the 4 of you, not the mouse. So
Classical villain mistake.
They are racist, but not mean to animals.
Yeah.
you
I'll
can
try
hear.
to grab
You
Gwen
can
as
hear
well
from.
if I can.
Yeah, you catch up to her very quickly. She's kind of stumbling like down the. It's kind of like an earthen ramp leading down into the darkness ahead. You hear. The last thing you hear as you kind of go into this dark entrance is a shouted voice from behind you. Let them go in. They can't go anywhere. Reload. And
Well,
then
the captain is not far away from you, right?
Oh, you were running it. Were you running
And
into the cave?
I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
okay.
I went Juggernaut, and the captain was not that far from me, right?
He took a step back, but it's definitely like it's easy for you to get to him. Yes.
And he's lying down because Santiago just shot him, right? And I'm now massive and huge.
He's not lying down. No, he kind of got spun by the shot.
Okay.
He
So
got hit
will
the
it be
shoulder
possible
and kind of spun. Yeah.
to be at him with 2 big stabs and just yeet him in the air and just shout, "One more move or I'll rip his damn head off!" Behind this, I think most of my clothes are ripped, but the ugly mask is still on.
Yeah. Okay.
The ugly snouty mask. And
so
I just lift him in the air with one giant hand and put the other one around his head, and I hold him like a puppet in front of me.
Okay.
Do I have to roll anything?
You do. Yes. You get. It's basically helpful for all rolls made in the field of war, but hindering for any other action. So you get basically a +1 to your fight plus war, which is basically going to be 6 dice altogether.
Okay, that sounds
And
good.
you've got a target of, it's a critical roll that you need as a target.
Okay. Well, those are 2 basic successes, and I can reroll that one. Yeah, that's it. That's a basic success and a critical.
Okay, so you get a free action with that as well.
I would retreat with him, just backing off, holding him tight in my hands.
Okay.
The other hand around his head, and screaming or shouting like insane, while retreating to the cavern.
Okay. Letha is heading into the cavern as well, right? With Snotty. Yeah. Okay. So Humphrey is kind of backing towards it. You see that's the action turn done. For the reaction turn next, all of the soldiers start reloading their, tamping down the cloth and putting the bullets in, reloading their keyskets. And as they do so, they kind of come together and form like a wall facing you. But they don't advance. They're kind of watching you warily while they're reloading. So they're taking this entire turn to reload, and basically form like a defensive wall.
Yeah.
So that's the reaction. There's nothing for you to roll against there.
Oh.
So now you are in the. We'll get to come to Humphrey in a second, but Santiago, you're the front with Gwen. You're kind of stumbling ahead. It is pitch black down here. There's no like glowing fungus of any kind. You can't see anything.
I'll try to find a good place to.
Letha's right behind you.
Grand saw.
And Letha has a contract called Out of the Spark.
Yes. So
I don't know if you want to use that.
Sure. I mean, that is always comes in handy. So yeah, I will absolutely. As soon as I enter the darkness, I will dimly light up my hands. I don't want to be too bright because I kind of feel like we kind of need to adjust our eyesight a little bit. So I don't want to go blind on everyone.
Okay.
So it's not much of a radius, but quite a bit.
Okay. Remember as well, I'm just looking at your concession there, that once per session you can call upon your enlightenment to repeat one action roll of any kind with an additional +1, which I'm not sure we've used so far.
No, we haven't rolled too well so far.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So this dim light kind of slowly shows what you're walking down into, and it's like an earthen ramp going down below the floorboards, but it looks like somebody has basically created like a tunnel, whereas previous, you've been under the floor before, and there it was kind of a bit more like what we would imagine it looks like in a crawl space underneath some floorboards. Here it's kind of been someone's kind of gone through the trouble of making it look a bit more like a cavern or like a tunnel. So you can see that there's like some dirt and a lot of kind of like hay, if you will, but used by using pine needles, kind of crushed up and mixed with some kind of substance to make this sort of like a very rough wall around you, like rounded walls.
Santiago is looking for a good ambush point.
It's literally just a tunnel at the moment. Yeah, not very easy.
And I'm guessing he's looking for alleyways or barrels and stuff, and because he's used to fighting in the city, so he's not finding any.
So, as you're kind of as Letha lights her hand up, and you start making your way down the tunnel, what is Humphrey doing?
I hold this captain in front of me, like in a very tight grip, and you hear the muffled voice of Humphrey. Letha, take the rope. Get him tied up as long as I can hold him. And you hold still, you. And I press this guy against the ground, basically. Or no, I hold him in front of us, of course.
You can see his eyes. He looks. He's got this mask on, but you can see his eyes through the mask, and his eyes are wide in terror. You can hear him muttering something, but you can't quite make out what he's muttering.
I'm kind of approaching with a rope and being like, "Hey, fascist, I'm going to touch you a lot." And then I start finding him.
Ooh,
okay.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. You get him tied up. Humphrey, you're kind of watching the entrance. You can see that the troops are very slowly advancing. They've got their weapons reloaded, but it doesn't look like they're ready to fire. Letha's doing this kind of facing them as well, so that if they fire, they're likely to hit the captain. and you soon get him tied up. Santiago, are you still kind of?
I'm trying to put. Are we at the end of the tunnel, or is it going onwards?
No, it's like there's only a dim amount of light. You can't see very far ahead of you, and at the moment, all you can see is it continuing, maybe about another 4 or 5 meters ahead of you until the light kind of like doesn't show anything else.
Yeah, well, Santiago did not listen at the first aid course, so he has no idea how to stop bleeding and stuff. I gathered from my character sheet, so he will try to take care of Gwen, but he's not very good at it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, she's kind of, you can see that she's kind of shaking a little bit. Any adrenaline she had from running is definitely worn off, and she's looking a bit pale as well.
He's trying to show off a bit bravado and saying, "Yeah, no worries, blushes. This is gonna be quite okay. Let's find the treasure. Okay."
She whispers. You kind of lean close, and she whispers, "Should have gone Juggernaut like Humphrey. That would have helped. But this dress was one of my favorites. Didn't want to tear
it's a good dress. Red is fitting for you. It's red, right?
Thank you, Santiago. I had it specially made for this trip too. It's the only adventuring dress I've ever had tailored. It's not cheap."
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
He's looking back at panic at the other guys. But help.
Santiago, what are you doing? You have to staunch the bleeding. Don't you know anything?
I have 2 dice in care. Should I roll them?
You're Sluha. Of course you don't know how to stop bleeding. You could just make it stop, can't you?
Exactly.
Just tie something.
Small holes.
She holds an arm up, and you can see that there's like her arm is covered in blood. And she says, "Don't rip my dress. Can you rip some of your clothing and tie a strip of cloth around? I'll show you where to tie it." She basically directs you how to like tie a tourniquet kind of around her bullet holes. She's got one in her arm.
He ripped some of his cloak, because that's what you do. Yeah.
She's had one. They're kind of aiming kind of like torso height. So she's got one in her arm and one in the shoulder.
Oh yeah, but it's above the wound, right? Not in the wound.
You're below where you are now. There's the spores have kind of not come very far into the tunnel.
No, I mean the cloth that Santiago was wearing. It must be covered in spores as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but she says like, "Oh, just shake it out."
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she doesn't want you to. She wants you to tie it over the top of her thing. So it's kind of like it's just kind of like putting some pressure on. And she just kind of tells you, "Oh, tighter. I think that'll help." Okay. Yep. And then her shoulder as well. You kind of like tie something like around, like under her armpit and over her shoulder, and kind of like make it really tight. She says, "That'll be good. I gotta find where this goes. Maybe."
Yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens to the others as well. But we're gonna find the treasure for you.
We need light. We need light. Okay. So
in a minute.
While Letha is tying up the officer, Humphrey would take his arms from him. Like, I don't know what he had. Suppose a pistol and a saber or something like that.
Oh, take his weapons.
I'm sure.
His weapons, not his arms.
Not yet
remove his arms.
While Lisa's tying him around his back and it goes loose. What?
No.
So he has a pistol and a whatever the equivalent of a saber is.
Probably a saber. Don't they have like?
I can't remember, but yeah, the equivalent of that. If there's a saber, then he's got a saber. If it's so the equivalent of that.
Yeah. Or pin needle, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I'll figure it out later. He's basically got a weapon of some description. You take it out. I mean, you're Juggernaut now. You're also filling the tunnel. So you're kind of like stooped down a bit. But you can definitely progress through. You're just gonna have to be kind of like stooping.
Yeah, and it's also only for five turns, for 5 combat turns.
So this is
So
the
thereof.
second. We'll say second or third as you're waiting to get him tied up. After he's tied up, the captain shouts, "Don't come in. Don't follow. At least not for 2 minutes."
And I pull off his mask. He has one, right?
Yeah.
And I say, "They can't hear you. Shout louder."
Leave it 2 minutes before following. Don't shoot me.
More spores for him.
Do you hear me? And you hear a muffled voice come back like, "Aye." And you see them stop, like, because they're not far from the entrance. They can probably see the shapes of you because Letha's kind of got her lights going. Well, they definitely can because Letha's got her lights going, but they can't see anything beyond the 3 of you: the Letha, Humphrey, and the now tied up captain. Okay, so what are you gonna do next?
So what exactly is this tunnel made of? It's just below the floorboards, and there is like some little bit loose mortar and
It's like a
dirt pressed together.
I don't know how far abroad you've traveled, but there's I used to live in Pakistan, and there were people had houses that were made of like straw and mud that had been made into a kind of like a mortar, and then dried in the sun. And this is kind of, in my head, it's a bit like that. It's this like a mix of some kind of mud-like material and pine needles that have been kind of like crushed up to make like a mortar kind of.
All right.
You don't know like how wide it is, because it's definitely not what things are made of down here. You could probably smash through the side of it, potentially something like that, to see if there's anything on the other side. But yeah.
But is it possible to produce something like cave-in, like just to block the entrance for at least some time until
you could try. Again, it's probably not like a huge quantity of this stuff. It looks man-made or littling made. So if you think that there's I mean, you could try it for sure. You could probably bring something down.
Yeah.
This might be your only exit though as well.
Well, they will follow us, and they will have to roam it roam the cave-in. So they clear the cave-in. So we'll have at least a little bit of more time, because they will have to get in as well. They got the orders from the captain. So
so you want to try that then?
Yeah. When everyone is behind me, so in the tunnel, I'll try to like rip from the ceiling, like some
so you start like stuff. Kind of like punching and grabbing and smashing all the stuff around you, and they when this happens, they collectively take a step back, and this kind of like this kind of mortar comes away, and you see that is kind of like a wooden scaffolding that's been. You're kind of like in a tunnel made of wooden scaffolding that's been coated around the sides in this mortar. So there's actually not a lot of mortar coming down when you start smashing it through. Certainly not like, it would be very easy to kind of move it to one side, but you can grab, in your juggernaut state, grab the actual wooden frame and like start like pulling, like snapping it and pulling it down to block the entrance, to make it at least a bit harder for them to get through without trying to clear it.
Yeah, and we still got Gwen with us, who can go Juggernaut as well to get us out.
And as you do that, you're aware that there is this black, like, void on either side of you as you've kind of smashed through and you're pulling the scaffolding, these wooden beams down. You have the sense that you're on a ramp above a very large drop, if that makes sense. And the entirety of the in-between is spread out on either side of you. Does that make sense?
Oh, so we're on like the bridge of Khazad-dûm.
You're going down. You're on a ramp going down into the in-between, and you were in a tunnel, a surrounded tunnel, and as you've broken the sides of the tunnel, there's nothing else there. And you have no, like, Letha's light maybe shines out a little bit, but you can't see anything. Like, the light is not, maybe there's a little bit of this, of like the underside of some flooring at the top. But other than that, it's just this blackness stretches out on either side. You feel a slight breeze as well, as you've made this opening. A very, very slight. I mean, it's not like a deep wind or anything like that. But you get very much get a sense of vast space, and you probably do not want to like jump off the side of this right now. Okay. Nobody else sees that because Humphrey is in fact, Letha's light isn't penetrating this because she's behind you and you're still in Juggernaut mode, like ripping stuff down. So you're kind of right at this, like you're pulling stuff down and then looking on the, like, oh, what's beyond this wood that I'm pulling down? It's like nothing. Pitch black. Other side, same thing. You're looking up like, oh, can you see the bottom of the floorboards? And maybe you can see a little bit of like light creeping through like a crack maybe somewhere, but that's literally it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So I try to ignore this for now, and just try to rip out the kings.
Yeah. So you've done that. You've made a decent obstacle for them to overcome. Yeah. I will say you do it until you like doing it while your Juggernaut thing is lasting, and as soon as it wears off, then it's kind of like, okay, I've done as much as I could. You only had probably like 2 or 3 turns worth of time left to do it, but you've definitely made a significant blockage.
In that meantime, does it make sense to take a bit more care of Gwen?
Sure, yeah.
Because you can try with care, I think, to remove the broken condition or other.
She's not broken yet.
So
She's not broken yet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. But also, I can do something about the hurt status, I think.
Yep.
If you try, so I would try and do that.
I'm guessing you're seeing Santiago is trying to follow the instructions and not doing a great job of it.
The only thing is you can only remove conditions when you are safe from any dangers and run no immediate risk.
Right.
So you need a chance to rest. So it's usually like in a camp or when you have a significant amount of time. So I think, although you can roll to remove them, you do need to be in this like position of safety, which you're not really. You know that they're going to be coming.
No.
Trying to start smash through this blockade soon.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we will wait for that.
So but you're bringing the ferry officer down with you as well.
Yeah. I would say so. We got a hostage.
That's good.
Yeah. So what's the order? Bearing in mind that you can probably go down 2 abreast, so 2, like one next to the other. Snotty is probably wide enough that she takes up, like no one can kind of go alongside Snotty. So there are 5 of you, including the captain, plus Snotty. So what's the running order? And Letha has the light, of course.
I'm the last one with the officer, just having the pistol cocked, his pistol cocked, and him in front of you or behind me, like slowly walking backwards and keeping an eye on the entrance.
Okay. One thing in this meantime, while Humphrey was doing this and I couldn't do anything about Gwen, I would love to reload my key.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Does Humphrey again?
Does Humphrey have his? You left it outside. Okay, all right. Yeah. Just need to remember that.
And I think I'd go first with Gwen. Like she has the most knowledge, and I got the light.
Oh, and Santiago realizes he's going just in front of Snotty, and he's trying to be, yes, very nice mouse. Yes.
Yeah, it could be worse. You could be Humphrey in front of Snotty.
But Santiago doesn't really know the difference between himself and Humphrey, so
okay.
It might be just everybody that is not Letha, so he's kind of nervous.
Letha, as you try and go to the front with Gwen kind of says, no, Santiago, let Santiago carry me or help me along. You just light it up, and if I stand right behind you, I can tell you anything that needs to be said. But I don't know anything about this. I had the map. I interpreted the map to find where we are now, and I'm just hoping we find Argo's tomb. So
then I'm take the lead, and you two take care.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll try to help her, Gwen, alongwards. I'm guessing the mouse is just following. We don't need to lead it, right?
The mouse is following. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's following Letha's glowing light. Okay.
It's gonna be all fine.
You're kind of traveling. You're traveling down for not too long. When Letha, you feel yourself step like something moves underfoot, and something sharp comes flying out of the walls on either side. I need you to give me a caution plus street roll.
You're right.
Of course, it's traps.
Alrighty. Of course. Well,
It's one of your better skills, actually. So.
Yes, I have 2 basic.
Okay. I mean, you can keep that if you want. You're gonna take 1 damage or 1 stress if you stay there.
Yeah, but I only have 1 die to reroll, I think, and
if you lose it, you'll take 2 stress instead. So it's up to you to decide if you
so
want
I'll
to
just
reset
take the 1. I take the
Did-
1.
Did you have a basic saved from earlier? Did you say something about that?
Yeah, but you
or is
can't.
it that gone?
Yeah, but you have to use it's kind of like you have to use an action at the same time. So we're just kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Check.
Okay. So
Just checking the rules.
as you kind of like realize that something's happening as you step, you kind of like jerk back. You get a bit scratched from these what look like needles of some kind that comes shooting out from the side. You notice as well then when you kind of like shining your light that there are these very small holes in the side of the wall. It's obviously a trap that's been set up. When you look down, you can see that you've depressed a very cunningly hidden like plank set across the width of the way, and it's still like depressed down.
Ouch. Okay.
Gwen
I will
says,
look out
"Oh,
for more,
what
please.
was that?"
A trap.
Whoa.
I kind
Of course, he's trapped his
figured
tomb.
that one out.
Oh, we should.
I have an idea.
We should be careful, she says, very helpfully.
Yeah. Yeah. Careful. How about that fairy? Where is he? I say loudly.
You ask your question, and I pull his. I think I have the pistol behind his neck, and I just grabbed his wings.
Oh yeah.
Just pulling him gently with me, or not that gently, and I just, yeah.
You can see him gritting his
right
teeth, but
his head.
he's trying not to talk to you at the moment. But yeah,
You ask your question. I squeeze his wings a little bit more.
I'm here, bastard.
Oh, you're good at traps. You seem to be good at setting them.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean. I'm good at setting ambushes, I guess. If you're talking about,
Really?
he looks down at the like the plank that's pushed down.
Yeah.
Traps like this? Oh, no idea.
I'm looking at the others and saying, better him than us.
He kind of, his shoulders slump a bit. And he says, you hear, only Humphrey hears him mutter, "Oh, I was going to drop out an F-bomb." But
Duck,
Humphrey's
the
used it
vacuum.
already.
Yeah.
Bloody.
Yeah.
You hear mutter. Bloody slewer.
Well, he looks a bit too much as my cousin. I said a bit louder, and then I say, "Let's go forward. I can go first if you want to. I can take a hit."
And we disarm it or circumvent it. We shouldn't. Well, in case his lackeys come after us. This trap could come in handy, right?
Yeah, but I'm looking at Snotty, and we might be needing to, get past all of us.
So the needles come out of the ground or out of the floor or out of the wall?
Out of I mean, if you've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones movie, it's like that where he's kind of running past and all the kind of needles are shooting. So it's like that. Mostly sort of torso height, but ranged at a various, a mix of heights, like hip to shoulder height.
Could Snotty just jump through it?
We don't know how far it is, right?
Well, as I said, there was a plank that Letha had stepped on, and it depressed, and then they came shooting out, and now they've stopped shooting out, and the plank is still down, depressed.
Okay, so it might be only that one, right?
There's only one way to find out.
Exactly. So
do we have? We have the grappling hook, which is like solid iron and heavy enough, maybe, to keep it down until we passed it. So Humphrey would
but it's Letha step back, right? So it's still depressed. No, we haven't. Okay.
I still have my foot on it.
Ah.
I think, right? That was the situation.
You jerk back, so I mean, yeah, we're kind of we're playing it in my head. Yeah, you're still kind of have your foot on it. Yeah, but they're not shooting anymore. They shot for a bit.
Yeah,
and yeah.
But the trigger's still down, and probably it lifts back up. So Humphrey would propose this. We could use the grappling hook just to, if it's, and I look to Letha because I'm not very good at how traps probably work, at mechanics as well. But Humphrey knows his key skets, so a little bit of knowledge he has, I suppose, about mechanical things. So if we keep this, point to Letha's foot, triggered, we could pass safely.
Probably. We need something with enough weight to keep it pressed down. I'm not sure if the grappling hook works for that.
Got a backpack. Anything of value does not need to be well perforated.
I have a bag of mushrooms.
Nope.
Nope.
Not heavy enough, I suppose. Not heavy enough.
Do the officer have a knife?
He had a sure. He has like a dagger on him.
Yeah. Ooh. Sandra was actually looking at the dagger.
But
we could use this.
Humphrey will have it now because Humphrey took all of. Remember, he took his arms off him.
Yeah. Humphrey, do you have a spare knife or something to just wedge in there? So Letha can move.
I doubt it will keep the trigger down for long, but here you are.
Depends on how hard you strike it, I'm guessing. Yeah. Or it might be Rasmus talking now, but yeah, sorry.
I give you the knife. I imagine
nice
it's
dagger.
like an officer of those nasty daggers, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a military dagger kind of thing. Standard.
Should we try to wedge it down and see if Letha can move away?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep, she can move away. Yep. I think let's just move this on a bit. You managed to keep it pressed down. You go past it. Letha's now very carefully, I guess, looking at the walls and looking at the floor. You all get past, and as the last person, I guess, which is Humphrey, passes by, you take we could say you could like jam the dagger in so to prevent, because it's not very heavy, but it can stick into the wood and prevent it from coming up. And I guess Humphrey pulls it out.
I tie a rope around it, and then I pull it out. But once I passed through the trap, yeah.
So you do that, and as you pull it out, at first nothing happens, and then after a few moments, you can hear like a very faint like clicking sound, like
It reloaded.
as if it's like some sort of machinery. Maybe it's very, very steady clicking sound. You can't see now because it's very dark with Letha at the front, but you can hear that it's coming from sort of both sides of you, or just maybe just ahead of you as you're facing backwards. You can also at this point hear further along the sound of the unmistakable sound of somebody taking something metal to wood, not axes. Okay. None of them were armed with heavy keyscats, but there was a convenient heavy keyscat lying around, which could be used as an axe in a pinch. Might be blunted.
Good for the story.
Good for the story.
Yeah.
So, you're moving on at a more cautious pace, and I'm not going to ask you for any sort of like detection rolls or anything at this stage. But Letha at I guess Santiago's at the front now. Letha, you're behind him, kind of lighting the way.
Or what would you prefer? I could go first. I can take a hit more easily.
That sounds good.
But he's careful, trying not to step on stuff.
So, the corridor changes, and it's not long after you've passed this first trap, and the mortar disappears. Like they ran out of mortar, they're no longer using it, and you're now walking in a wooden tunnel, if that makes sense. A corridor made of wood that's been kind of like So they're no longer coating the sides in this mortar. However, the floor is still, they have used it on the floor, so the flooring is still this kind of rough mortar like substance. Think of it like dried, like baked or like dried mud, basically, right?
I know what you're talking about. But it's definitely littlingly made. It's not animal made, is right?
Oh, this is definitely like, you can see there's been nails hammered in at certain points, for sure. It's definitely littling made. You were heading down, and by the time you get to where this wood starts, in fact, right when the wood starts, it levels out, and you're now going along at like a level now. You're not sure how far you've come down. It's probably not been super far. Yes, it's leveled out now.
Wow.
Who's at the front? Santiago's at the front, right?
Yep. I have my my lancetta out and are using the light from Letha.
Okay, so you are traveling along, and this again with the light that Letha's shining. Even if she like brightens it up a bit, it looks to be going on for quite a distance still. You can't see like anything ahead of you. Give me a caution plus street roll, please, Santiago.
Well. Yeah, it's not the worst. 4 dice, I think.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at the wrong sheet. Yeah.
I have a basic. Should I re-roll that? Push that? No, I'm gonna be happy with the basic. See what happens.
Okay. Unfortunately, you don't see the next thing underfoot, and you step on another plank, which you just feel your foot go like, and you feel it go like crash for like a few centimeters under your foot, and you hear this grinding sound. All of you hear this grinding sound. And the walls shake and start very slowly to start coming in. And Letha, with your light on, it's as far as you can see ahead of you. The walls, like the corridor you're in, looks to be kind of coming in.
Oh. How about run?
Run!
Yeah, we're running.
Yep.
Okay.
I just push the officer before me and run.
Unfortunately, we'll say that Santiago and Letha and Gwen just managed to get through to the other side when Snotty is trapped.
No.
No.
And she starts letting out a very high pitched squeak as the walls continue to kind of like she's trapped. She's kind of like trying to pull through, and then she's just completely trapped. Yeah, mice can actually flatten themselves and get through some very, very small spaces.
Yep.
But the
That's
walls are
true.
now at a point where you would all be walking single file. You would have to walk single file.
There
Is
must
it
be a
still-
switch or lever or anything. Search for it.
Gwen
Yes.
says, I can maybe go Juggernaut and try and smash it. Shall I?
Go.
Go.
Okay, but good point, Miss Summers. I'm desperately looking for like a lever or trigger.
I mean, there's no levers visible. This is a trap, right? It's meant to be crushing you. There's not like a convenient
but we
pull
are
this and it'll stop.
but we are on the other side. So if this is also the way back, there might be a mechanism that we could trigger to
Give me
get those walls
a caution. Give me a caution plus streets roll.
Yes.
Could
Humphrey as
I
well?
help with that as well?
Since he is
Yeah. Take
But
a
Humphrey's
plus.
on the wrong side, I think.
Oh yeah,
Letha,
sure. Yeah,
Letha needs to make this, but Santiago can give you a plus
Yeah.
+1 for helping.
But
And
do you
then
have this enlightenment or this weak spot or something like that? You can spot something useful.
In a minute. I
see
have
how
a
her-
critical.
Okay.
Oh well.
With a critical, you are you're able to see as the walls have come in. You can see the mechanism on one side, and they're basically these gears that are kind of rotating, and you think you could probably like smash one of the gears off to stop it from moving, and then it if the gears are kind of all connected to another, and if you take one out, then they're just going to spin and nothing's going to happen. So you think if you could just like smack it with maybe the haft of your key set, which is fairly sturdy, maybe you can just like knock it out.
Yeah,
That's
I
one thing
will
you could do,
absolutely
or you could
do it.
try to maybe take a bit of time to see if you can like stop or reverse it or something. But that's the kind
No,
of
I think this is kind of a panic reaction because of Snotty, and so I will absolutely try and smash something out of there. I'm not
You don't
very
need to roll-
strong, but
You don't need to roll for it. It's kind of old. You can kind of tell that there's kind of like dust, like poofs of dust around these gears as they're turning. But you're able to you smack it, and there's a loud like pang as the gear goes kind of flying off. And also, by the way, with the light, as you're looking through here, you're seeing beyond like the gap, through the gap between where the corridor isn't. And your light is shining. You can see the floor below you. It's probably the equivalent of about five little meters. So if you were to like hang from the floor and then let yourself drop, you could probably land without taking too much like hurting yourself too badly, if that makes sense.
yeah.
It probably wouldn't hurt. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to bend your knees, right? But you could survive. You could definitely survive a fall. You can at least, you've come down far enough that you can kind of see the bottom of this. You're near the bottom of the space. But yeah, the walls have stopped moving when you did that. And you can hear like a few more like ping, ping, as something else is like kind of the gears were moving, and now they're kind of like there's something's happening, and it's kind of breaking down. And Snotty is kind of like doing this, and after you hear a couple more pings, you can tell that as Snotty is like wiggling, she's actually able to push the walls back out a little bit. So whatever was pushing them forward is broken, and yeah, she's able to kind of like she manages to loosen it enough that she's able to kind of scurry out, and she just basically runs up to Letha and is like almost bowls you over as she's like comes out of this space and needs a cuddle.
Yeah, sure. She absolutely gets it. Letha is kind of close to crying. Like, this was stressful.
Gwen
No
says,
cuddles for you, and I shove the officer into the space.
well done, Letha. Well done, Letha. I was ready to go. I was ready to go Juggernaut. I would have done it for Snotty.
That, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. But maybe we could use that maybe later. Also, there is floor beneath this. Like, we could drop down.
Oh, let me see. Let me see. And
If you
she kind of
this.
like puts a hand on your shoulder to kind of support her. Okay. I said she was shot in one arm and shot in the other shoulder, so she probably can't use either arm.
Yeah, I would help her out. Like,
yeah. So you help her over. She kind of she asks you to like put your hand through the thing and to make your light as bright as you can make it, so she can have a little look. And you do, and you can. It kind of brightens up a little bit more, but it's very, very, very dark. You can see the floor below you, as I said before. It's covered in like dust and bits of things that have fallen through, like some pine needles, some mounds of some description, but nothing like that you can really make out. Just very dirt, like you'd expect to find in the in-between, kind of. But it's just pitch black. The only other time the other times you've been in the in-between, or the between, I should say, is when there has been some fungus that has grown, that has kind of lit up the space. You're not sure whether that was someone has kind of done that deliberately. You know that there are smugglers and people who move deliberately through these spaces, but underneath the Dreadwood where you are, there's probably very few people who come here. And maybe even the spores might be keeping away other types of fungus from growing. So it's just very, very dark. You can't see the top at all, and all you can see is the floor going. It's kind of like a pool of light that slowly fades away. That your light is shining of the floor.
Is there any spores down here?
No, not that you can see.
Okay.
No.
Oh, well, so the captain without his mask is quite okay then.
Yeah.
so far.
And just as you're kind of seeing that and looking down, you hear a very, very loud kind of smashing and kind of like it's a bit in the distance, but it's you're pretty sure that they've cleared a big portion of the obstacle.
Oh.
Gwen says, "Surely there can't be more traps. We must be near the tomb now. I think we push on. What do you think?"
Okay.
Alright. But there might be another way out. Like, if this might not
Maybe
be
the tomb has two entrances. Maybe, or we can always go into the in-between. We can always drop down into the in-between, and look for another way out.
But that's
So
what
that's
I thought to avoid those troops, probably.
good plan.
Okay.
Heave-ho!
So okay, let's try and push on.
You just turn.
Well, I kind of failed. Yeah. Sorry.
Go on.
I feel I kind of messed up, but should I go first still, or do you want me be?
I mean, nobody took any stress,
That's
right?
more than I did.
Just some.
Oh well, I'll move on then. Yeah.
I will light the way. You take the punches.
I'm just wondering if there's if there's a condition that Letha can take because of the being, but you've I guess you could theoretically take scared, because of what happened. I don't know. Up to you. You know, I'm not forcing you to take condition at all. But yeah. Okay. I was
like
just
that would be.
I was just gonna say
thing, actually.
something happens as you turn and start to continue. And remember I said that you heard this like smashing sound. Very shortly after you hear that, you hear screaming from the same direction.
Oh,
Better hurry.
yeah.
And then, like, there's probably 2 or 3 people screaming. One of them gets cut off like in mid scream. And you're in this wooden tunnel, right? You feel it kind of vibrate slightly. Just once, like a while the screaming is happening.
Let's move.
And then it goes silent.
From behind us, of course, right?
From behind you, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, ahead of you you hear nothing other than a diabolical hissing sound. just kidding.
Scornful hissing, yeah.
You're kind of moving quickly after hearing this. After this, like, you're all kind of a bit startled by it. You're moving further down, and it's very shortly after you start moving again that you notice, Letha, that the tunnel is coming to an end as there's something opening up ahead of you. And in fact, you are seeing something glittering ahead of you as the light is reflecting off of something. Santiago in the lead notices first, kind of like what happened in the first session. You come into this room, it's like a wooden structure. It's kind of sort of hexagonal or octagonal in shape. A kind of the roof's kind of come up almost like a dome, and at the top of the dome, there's like a hole. Perfect hole, like it's been made like that. You're not sure why. It's kind of a bit weird. And looking up into the hole, it's just the darkness of the between. You don't see when you kind of get into the room and you shine your light up, you don't really see anything. Inside this room is a desk. There is a bookcase, and there's a chest.
When you say chest, it's body shaped, or?
And in the center of the room is forgot the most important thing. There is a sarcophagus, a tomb, whatever you would call it, like a stone made of stone or metal. You're not quite sure. They must have stone here, right?
Yeah. No tiles they can chop off and making stuff off. Kitchen tiles.
Maybe from probably the
the stone
hearth,
of like the hearth, the fireplace.
Yeah.
The fireplace.
So there would be. So it's kind of I don't know. It's some sort of stone based tomb. There's been some carvings. There's no like sculpture on it or anything like that, but there are some carvings on it. And Gwen instantly goes up to it and says, "Letha, shine your light over here."
I will also brighten up my hands to make the room a bit more visible.
Mm-hmm. And
Santiago stays by the entrance, just to the side, to be prepared to surprise someone if they get inside.
Yeah. So
just as you're coming into the room as well from behind you, you hear a gunshot, still quite far away. But it's quite loud. But just for one. Okay. So the sarcophagus, I guess I want to call it, has some carvings on it. And Gwen says, "Oh no. This isn't even Argo's tomb."
What?
Well, whose it is then?
It's his assistant. Oh, this is not good. Take me to the table, please. I have to see what I can find.
All right. Sure.
What's Humphrey doing with the captive?
He would strip him of his clothing, I suppose. Because Humphrey's clothing is completely ripped through getting Juggernaut.
Yeah.
And I think
you're gonna put on a tri-starred uniform. I mean, you don't look like a fairy.
it keeps you, yeah, but it keeps you warm. I can rip off the patches afterwards.
There'll be a slight breeze at the back where the wing holes are, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of the wings, I want to step into the wings, I suppose.
You want to do what? Like snap his wings?
Like 2 little holes. Just pierce it twice.
Okay.
So he can't use them. Maybe they regenerate, but for now.
When he sees you take, like, you do it with his dagger or with his sword or something like that?
With his dagger, of course.
He sees you doing it and he starts to struggle and says, "Don't you dare! Don't you dare!"
That's why I invite you now, right? Looking down upon us.
He spits in your face. "Don't you touch my wings, you filthy boggart scum!"
I touched them before. But you will be no danger to us now.
I'm already no danger to you. You've tied me up. Leave my wings alone, you savage.
How did you do? I did a little inquiring about your lot. I heard what you did to those in the fairy domains. The boggarts, the slua, the sprites. Right?
They shouldn't be in the Dominion. They shouldn't be in the house.
I go closer to him, pierced them, stabbed them, nailed wings on their backs. You monsters.
You can see some sweat. Some sweat starting to trickle down his forehead, but he's kind of like grins in your face.
Let's see how it is if you are ground locked. And just 2 little stabs.
He closes his eyes, and as you like rip his wings, he kind of like he's trying not to cry out, trying to be tough. Okay, while you're doing that, Letha's sorry, let me just kind of cut away for a second. Letha, you're shining like your hands or whatever to let Gwen try and rifle through with her one arm that she can still barely move, like trying to lift some of these papers up. What's Santiago doing?
Well, he was standing by listening in the corridor, see if people were coming. But
okay.
If the gunshot was far away, I think he's too curious, so he's going over to the bookshelf and looking.
Did you not hear me say chest?
Yes. Oh, he's going to the chest, of course. Yeah, I was confused if there was a chest of the. No. He's going towards the chest, but he wants to be careful because there've been traps here. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The chest is not locked. It has like a latch going. It basically is a type of chest you could lock, but there's no lock on it. And as you kind of, the light is kind of dim because Letha's not shining the light for you to check for traps on this chest. She's shining light for Gwen, but there's enough like ambient light that you can kind of look around the side of it. You don't think that there's anything. You can't see like little strings. Maybe you even get your lancetta out and kind of like just like passing it around in case there was a string you like cut through it or whatever. But you don't. It doesn't seem like there's anything trapping it.
He's gonna open it then, of course. He needs the pressure.
You've seen Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that golden glow when they open the briefcase. There is basically a small fortune, it looks like, in coin. They're in leather-ish bags that are kind of mostly closed, but there's probably the equivalent of we'll say roll 2d6 and we'll multiply that by multiply that by 5 coin.
Okay, 5. That's 25.
I'll roll it. I'll roll it.
Yeah, better you roll it so you can decide.
That's a 7, which is like the midpoint that you could roll. So 35 coin worth of coin in here, which is a lot.
I'm gonna stuff my bags and pockets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing that. Letha, you're kind of waiting for Gwen to see what she's finding. Does Santiago say anything when he opens it and sees them, or is he just like?
No. He's gonna say, "Oh, I found the treasure."
Okay. What does
He's gonna
Humphrey do
share
when
it
you hear
with
that?
these guys.
Yeah. After you've pierced this guy's wings, he kind of like falls to his knees, and he's hanging his head, and almost like whimpering a bit. But like if you lean your head down to see like is he actually whimpering, he stops, and goes like gives a big sniff.
Yeah.
What's Humphrey doing?
Humphrey is dragging him behind the desk, and like saying, putting his own ripped remains of his cloak from his shoulders, saying, and laying it around the fairy off his shoulders. Then
Okay.
tying
Well,
like a.
I'm gonna stop you there. As you're dragging him back, you're the only one in a position to make this roll. I want you to make a caution plus war roll, please.
Of course.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, those are 6 die. We will see. So this is a basic.
One basic.
I will reroll. Yeah, those are 2 basic successes.
Okay. It's not enough, but you are in a position to see what's happening. And this is all happening simultaneously. Santiago has put maybe the 4th or 5th of these bags. Like, he's trying to find like a pocket it'll fit in without ripping through and like spilling later. So you're kind of taking your time, but trying to like jam them in. Letha, Gwen has just put her hand on a letter. She says, "Oh, this looks interesting." And you can kind of see that it looks to be in a similar code to what was being used for the map, which she kind of has a key for now. Probably not with her, but I mean maybe she's memorized it. You don't know. But she's just found a letter with this key on it. And Humphrey, you're in a position because you're kind of like dragging this guy backwards. That you're kind of facing into the room. Something catches your eye. And it's from the hole in the ceiling. And as silent as the grave, these long, spindly legs come down with a huge web in between them. And you're just noticing it like, oh shit, what do I do when it's flung into the room? And unfortunately, you need an extreme success to be able to dodge it if you've seen it.
Okay.
And all of you are covered in a thick spider's web.
Oh no.
This is the point where we take a break, right?
This is a good point to take, perfect point to take a break.
Yeah.
Wow, that was fortuitous there.
Yeah, very nice.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
This is where the content warning comes in for arachnophobia. So there's going to be some spidery things happening after the break. So if you don't like spiders, yeah, you are being warned.
I hope you like spiders and tune in 10 minutes.
I hope so too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks for staying
Catch
with
you
us so
all.
far.
We'll take 5 or 10 minutes. What do people want?
10.
5 is fine. 10, okay.
Okay,
10?
we'll take
Yeah,
10.
I'll take 10.
Can't.
Okay, see you in 10 minutes then.
Get one more cup of tea. Yep. Till then.
All right, we're back.
Huzzah.
So,
Hello,
you're
everyone.
coated in this web, all of you, including, of course, the captain and Snotty. And I think with the positions that you're in, the net it's very dense. It's not completely. You're not like cocooned like a spider would do when it actually catches something. But it's these nets are so thick you're not really able to move hardly at all. It's stuck over everything practically inside this room. Oh. Humphrey can see, assuming that Letha has kept her light on.
Yeah.
Humphrey, you see
Yes, please.
the body. You're the only one who can see this.
Mhm.
The long, thin body of a very large spider come silently down out of the hole in the top of this room. And its legs are very, very long and spindly. And it kind of steps, well, it arrives into the room. Its legs are kind of like placed at points where it's not actually touching any of you. And it turns its head silently and stops with its gaze on you, Humphrey.
So I'm covered in the web, right? Am
you're
I like
covered in the
way
web.
down? Am I on my knees and on my hands, or am I
Yeah,
still
you're on your
standing
knees,
somehow?
and you had your
Yeah.
hands like on the shoulders of the fairy you were bringing. So you're kind of like
now
you're
it's-
kind of like hands are kind of stuck to his shoulders. In fact, he's probably looking at the spider as well because you're dragging him backwards. So he's whimpering again. This is a
Must
net
be a very
casting.
awkward
this
position.
This is a net
that's-
casting spider.
Yeah,
Which,
of course.
as a hunter, you will recognize. You've probably never seen one of these before. You've definitely heard of them.
Okay.
The fog giant was rumored to be a net casting spider. They're known to lay traps with like webbing traps. They're very intelligent. They're very, very quiet, and they spin a net between their front legs, and then they throw it at people to basically capture them. Exactly what's happened here. And you're in a nice room, which is like a nice place to keep you all nicely together, of course. As it kind of notices you and the captain looking at it, but its attention then very quickly moves to the Letha, who's glowing.
Letha. Above you. As I imagine, like the spider came from up above, and it's looming over all of us.
Can I turn my head to see it, or is everything like fixed?
You're kind of, you can maybe move your head a very small amount to either side, but you were looking forward, and it's kind of like I guess you kind of like have one arm over Gwen's shoulders as you kind of went down, and the both of you are kind of like stuck to the table. Maybe your head is to the side as you like kind of like got stuck to the desk. So you can maybe just see in your peripheral vision, you can see like one or two of the legs that have kind of like just slowly
I would assume that because I'm stuck in a net that there must be a spider.
Oh, you definitely know there's
kind
a
of coming
spider.
with it.
Yeah.
You will actually hear bloody trap. Because Santiago's thinking it's a trap on the chest.
No.
So you see a leg. Humphrey says, "Letha, behind you." But Letha can see the leg. Santiago's the other one who you're probably like face first.
Head down in the yeah. And I think Santiago really thinks this is a trap for the chest. So yeah.
As Santiago and Humphrey are talking, you then hear something.
Silence. Morsels. Which of you wishes to talk?
Did you hear anything there?
Yeah.
Did it sound like my voice or did it sound like something else?
It sounded
Those sounded like
fantastic.
your voice.
It sounded like my voice.
Okay. For me, at least, yeah.
I'm trying to use a voice altering thing.
Ah,
No. It
okay.
changed
It sounds
a
pretty
bit,
good.
though.
Sounds pretty good.
Okay, all my testing.
Mm-hmm. Talk.
Beg for forgiveness for trespassing. Offspring of the fog giant, I suppose.
Do you speak for all here? Mortal, morsel.
Who are you speaking to?
I'm shooting a glance at Letha, like...
Santiago feels
kind of
a pressure
giving
in
you
the
a
middle
little
of your back
thumbs up.
when you say that.
Okay, sorry. I can't really see what's happening. I'm quiet.
And you hear the voice suddenly very loud, right behind your head.
Silence.
I was the one bringing us here, so... Yeah, I'm speaking. I'm speaking for the group, I suppose.
You are not one of the fairy. That is good.
And then it approaches very quickly, very, very quickly, but very silently. It is effectively going from being like in the middle of the room to being right in front of you. And it starts... Its feet quickly cut away the captain, and you're just getting your hands ready when it's just like grabs you with two more of its legs, and it starts spinning you into a thick cocoon. There's very little you can do.
Me or the captain?
You. The captain is
okay.
the captain. It's pressing down with its leg. He's kind of like, because he's been tied up with rope, and now he's kind of covered in web. He's not much of a threat right now. And this, you can see this leg is just pressing really hard into his I guess his back. It would have pulled him away from you. Mm-hmm. And in a very short time, you're kind of wrapped up. Mm-hmm. And then, without another word, it bundles you away from the desk and starts to carry you out of the room through the top hole.
Okay.
I mean, there's not really anything you can do.
No.
Player agency, what's that?
Right. Taking the spider railroad.
Letha, you can hear Gwen saying, "It's a spider, isn't it? I've never seen one, but it sounded like one.
Was a really large one.
Can you see it?
I've just seen a leg.
It's above us right now, is it?
I can't see anything. I'm in the box. What's going on?
Nothing responds to you. And Gwen whispers, Shall I go, Juggernaut? Maybe that will help rip us out of the web."
I'm not sure. I mean,
you think probably these webs are very strong, but Juggernaut is Bogarts who've gone Juggernaut are also very strong. She might be able to rip free of them, but just the fact of her going large might also mean that because you're so close to her, Oh no, you're kind of on top of her almost, aren't you? I'm not under her.
Going to be a backpack.
Yeah, I was gonna say that maybe like if you're positioned slightly differently, that maybe as if she was going Juggernaut, it might lift some of the webs off of, like, rip them off of you, but you're just gonna be pressed into them more. She rises.
Okay.
Pressed through the web.
So what do you say? She's kind of
Nice,
asking if you think that if you think it might help. You have the feeling that she's probably not gone Juggernaut in her life very often at all, and seems almost a little bit embarrassed or yeah, very much reluctant to do it.
I think you could free us with that. I'm just not sure what we do next, because I feel like the spider wanted to talk.
Yes, that's true. If it wanted to eat us, we'd probably be dead by now, or at least poisoned.
Yeah, and it talked to Humphrey and asked if he would speak for the group. So something is probably negotiated on our behalf.
Yeah. Oh yes, they didn't it?
And I'm not sure if a violent action would be the wisest thing to do right now, you know? Like maybe brace yourself and wait for a bit?
Yes, it's probably a good idea. You can hear the whimpering starting from
We don't want
behind
to
you.
fight this.
with your one weapon and your one shot before you have to reload.
Yep. Oh, well, I have reloaded, but well, this will not do much.
Just to give you an idea, mechanically, the enemies in the bestiary chapter of the book are given a difficulty rating. It's kind of like a soft difficulty rating, from 1 to 5 spiders that are filled in, and the netcasting spider has all 5 filled in. So it's
Yep.
Oh.
yeah. And the spiders you've actually had faced in combat were, I think, 2 before.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea, this is a league more dangerous than the spiders you've encountered in the past. Humphrey will know that as well. Like, if there's probably been maybe 1 or 2 netcasting spiders that have ever been hunted down and killed in the history of the house, and the hunters who would have bagged them are like absolutely world famous or house famous. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna hold that. What's Santiago? Is Santiago?
Yeah, well, Santiago is in. Did I hear this conversation? Or was it too hushed?
Yeah. It depends on whether you're muttering and like talking over them, because it is a quiet conversation. Gwen is kind of whispering to Letha, but if you're quiet, you can hear them.
Yeah. Well, he started off, but I think he's gonna be quiet and try to rustle a bit, and then, hey guys, are you also stuck? Is this the trap, or is it something else?
It is a giant ass spider.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah. And it can talk. Like, you might have heard that.
Oh, I thought that was something else. Oh,
That
shit.
wasn't me doing funny voices at you. I mean,
No, well, you never know, Slippers. I can't get loose, and I'm bent inside this bloody box, and still coins inside, and I can't reach them.
With your mouth? like
Just
like
swallowing
a
them.
hamster,
Swallowing them like a
cheeks filled with coin.
Not yet.
I think we should hold out for a little bit, because I'm not sure if hostile actions are really the thing we should do now. Like,
Okay. Oh, animals are your part.
yeah, I don't know. We should strain our ears for the fairies. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
so,
You hear from the
like,
floor.
we should be ready.
Didn't you hear the screaming? They've been eaten.
Yeah.
We're gonna be eaten soon too.
Well, it seems to like fairies.
Yeah. It loves to eat fairies, obviously.
He starts cursing, like quietly, while he's still kind of whimpering. And you can kind of sense that he's kind of like wiggling around, but it doesn't seem to be getting anywhere. Okay, we're gonna go back over to Humphrey.
Mm-hmm.
You feel yourself there's like a slight breeze on your face. Your face has been like your body has been wrapped up, but your head has been left alone. You feel this breeze, and you can sense that you're kind of moving very rapidly away from where you just were, but it's pitch black. You can't see anything. Do you want to say anything?
No, when it's dragging me, I try to, as far as I can do, like assess my situation. Like, sure, I don't see anything. I'm completely webbed in. But can I make out with how the spider is holding me, like with the two front legs, or in like mandibles, or?
No, you're not. You don't think you're near its head. You have the feeling that it's you might be attached to its abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also feel the pressure of two legs kind of holding you in place, like under your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell from like from gravity that you're horizontal to the ground, facing down.
Yeah.
And there's a pressure along your back, which is why you think you're probably stuck up against his abdomen. And again, you can feel these two poles basically across your torso holding you in place.
Okay. Well, yeah, Humphrey's not the chatty kind of guy. And also
No, he's not. He's not really, is he?
Nope.
The spider does not really like to be talked to, unless it started the conversation. So Humphrey would remain quiet and try to get as much information as like speed of the spider, which is probably insane. Yeah.
I mean, you feel like, because there's like a bit of a rocking motion a little bit as you're moving. And with the breeze against your face, you can kind of, because it changes a little bit as you're kind of going faster, and it's there's kind of this like loping, at times fast, at times like not fast, going up and down, this sort of like your stomach dropping and stuff as you're going up and down very like relatively quickly at points. But you do feel like it's probably only been like a couple of like maybe a minute or 2 minutes.
Okay.
You already feel like you're probably quite far away from where the others are. Even if you cried out, they might not even be able to hear you, feel. And at some point, the motion completely ceases. You feel more legs, the two holding you down, slide across to like grip your shoulders. Some other legs grab you around, like kind of around the hips, and you can feel yourself. You can feel the pressure behind your back disappear as you're basically taken down, and you're kind of like, again, with you've got no sense of, you can't see anything. It's pitch black, but you can feel like with where gravity is, like what position you are, like where's up and down, that sort of thing. You feel yourself being lifted, so your head is up. And then you're placed so that you're sitting, so your legs are in front of you. Even the legs of the spider are kind of like positioning you like a doll almost.
Like a doll, yeah.
Presses you against like a wall in a sitting position, it feels like. But you're instantly stuck to this wall, so probably a wall made of web. But in a sitting position, which is a bit interesting. Then there's a scraping sound from somewhere above you, and you can just feel like something tickling your face, as it's you're not sure what it is, but it's something like dirt, maybe something like that. And then there's a hint of light, and the light grows so that the outside light, you're basically in a web, in like a little webbed nest for this spider. which is up against one of the floorboards of the floor of the living room, and it's scratched. There's actually a crack between two boards where it's like going right through the middle of this nest, and it's full of like caked with all sorts of like crap, detritus, stuff that's gathered over many years, and the spider has scraped some of it away until there is some light coming through. And that's when you see this thing again in its hideous glory, as it creates a bit of light. It's not a lot of light. It's a bit dim, but you can definitely, after being in the pitch black, it's definitely enough to see. And the spider as it realizes it's made enough light, it stops. It looks at you without saying anything for probably only a few moments. It feels like an eternity. You can see its mandibles on its mouth, kind of doing this as you're not sure what's it doing? Is it gonna leap on you? Is it gonna sink its fangs into you? Is it gonna have a nice little snack here?
Yeah.
And then it
tries
speaks.
to straighten his back. Like if that's how I go out, then I'll look it in the eye, upright as far as I can go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It speaks to you.
And I return its gaze, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Little mortal morsel, you are one who hunts our kind, are you not?
Can I speak?
Yeah, your head is completely unwebbed.
Would not say I've tried yet. Not your kind, but a hunter I am. No need to lie.
One of my kind? You have never killed one that walks on 8 legs?
Well, not one that big, not one that fast, not one that slings the web so fast.
Yes, you lack the skill to kill one like me, but some of my lesser brethren you have killed, no? Yes, I see your face.
Indeed I have.
It would be easy for me to make a meal of you, little morsel. But I would make a contract with you instead, yes?
You'll know, I don't know how much the players know of this, but there are personal contracts you can make with beings of the house. And they're like the personal contracts. They have two parts to them. They have the concession, which is the thing that you're allowed to do, and a counterpart, which is something that you're not supposed to do. So just like your hereditary contracts that you have for being a Sluagh, for being a Boggart, and for being a Salamander, these personal contracts kind of operate in the same way. Nobody really knows why certain spiders, usually spiders, that offer these contracts very often. Although, yeah, I won't say anymore. But it's rumored to be that these personal contracts are the domain of powerful ancient spiders. And Argo, the philosopher, Argo, the whatever title you want to give him, his thing that he was studying were personal contracts. That was his big thing. It goes behind it, like kind of with like turns ever so slightly. You see some of the legs kind of like moving around behind it like this, and then it pulls out what looks like a parchment. In the dim light, it's you can't tell what's made of. You can't tell if it's actually made from some sort of like papery parchment or maybe it's been made of some sort of like spun material. You can't tell. It's a kind of whitish material in the light coming through, and it holds it up very close to your face until you can read it. And it's written in Houseish, which is the language that everyone can speak, in a very spidery scroll. Long letters that are kind of like, you know, jagged. And I'm going to send you the contract in a DM in Discord, and then if you wouldn't mind reading it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is
I
gonna be
should read it out, right? EIGHTBLESSED. Concession, spider friend. You may traverse the living room, fear of attack by spiders. This protection passes to everyone in your party. In addition, the fairies trespassing in the Dreadwood will be taken care of. Counterpart, spider TRUCE. During your stay in the living room, you may never harm a spider, not even in self-defense. Additionally, you are not permitted to hunt other anthropods, i.e. beetles, roaches, centipedes, and may only harm one defense. If you do not comply with this, word will get out that you are a spider foe, and all the spiders of the living room will take a special interest in capturing and killing you in the most agonizing manner possible. Okay. So the part with the other anthropods, like the beetles, the roaches, and the centipedes, only extends to the living room? Or...
It's only talking about the living room, yep.
Okay. Humphrey snarls a bit. That's quite a generous offer. Lives for lives.
Yes. You and your friends will not harm any of my kind. Well, you at least. This is a good deal, is it not? A generous offer, as you say, little more so.
Been a hunter my whole life. Not to do anything else, but
you can hunt the rats.
Regarding
you can
hunt others like you, the fairies, as you call them. I cannot. If you must kill another being, let it be something not like me and my kin.
Yeah, true. Not about killing. And to live is not about to kill. Or at least it should not be. Not in these times, anyway. So, my friends and I can pass through. You will let us go without harm. Pass back home, all the Dreadwood.
Yes.
Chesterfield.
Yes. You may pass wherever you will, so long as you do not harm one of our kind. The spiders in this wood will know not to harm you. Some of our less intelligent kin might not know that you are not to be harmed. If they attack you, as the contract says, you may harm them in self-defense. But no spider shall you harm.
Not even self-defense. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
Indeed, not even in self-defense, or you shall become spider foe.
So I should be better quick on my feet then. Got it. Generous offer nonetheless.
Yes. Generous sign, yes.
There's a leg that kind of is suddenly there in front of you, and it's
Yeah.
like the end of the leg. It's kind of got like a hook kind of at the end.
Yeah.
And it's somehow got like a quill of some description stuck there.
Mhm.
Again, you can't really tell what it looks like with a dim light, but it's definitely something you can write with. And it's holding it out, like waiting for you to.
Yeah. Humphrey's last words were kind of agreeing until the spider spoke again, and Humphrey's hesitating once more, scanning the head of the spider, looking for any signs that there is one more hook to this contract, one more loophole.
You've been a hunter your whole
catch
life,
me.
so this to you, like
Yes.
looking at the face, it's impossible to intuit anything from it.
To see anything but a foe. Yeah.
You can't tell anything. It seems to be like the mandibles are kind of like
Mhm.
wiggling, or doing their little mandible thing,
Yeah.
while it's kind of watching you.
Those black, bleak, beady eyes, like.
The eyes are
Can't read anything out
reflecting.
of
The
these
eyes are
things,
reflecting
yeah.
the light, a little bit of light from the crack that it's scratched into into the space above. But there's no way you can tell what it's. It's such an alien thing to you. You've never spoken to a spider before. One has never spoken to you. And you've definitely heard of contracts between littlings and various entities, but you've never personally met anyone that's signed one.
Is this the contract your ancestor offered their killer? I heard the tales of the fog giant.
Do not concern yourself with the past. Think about your future, little morsel. Do you want to live? This is the price. To become spider friend, and hopefully not spider foe.
A truce it shall be then. And Humphrey tries to extend his hand, but he's webbed still.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yes.
It reaches out one of its legs, and it slices right through the where your right arm is, and you feel it dig in a bit and actually cut your arm a bit. Not too gentle, and you can take one stress for that.
Okay. Sure.
You get your stress back fairly easily, so just a little bit of narrative.
Yeah.
Narrative
Sure.
stress.
Sure.
And when your arm is free, it kind of like extends the quill to you.
Fixate the spider's eyes, and nod slowly. Spider friend. And friend to my friends.
Yes. Yes. Sign. Sign it, morsel. Be a friend to my kin.
Its mandibles are kind of going a little bit at a faster pace. Seems to be kind of like leaning forward in anticipation.
Humphrey clenches his lips, looks down one last time, and then signs the contract.
As soon as you've signed it, it quickly rolls the contract up and tucks it away behind it somewhere.
The contract is signed. I will take you back to your friends, and I will free them. What would you have me and my kin do with these fairies that have been threatening you? We are hungry. Would you Let us feed.
I think a meal is in order. Do with them what you like.
Yes.
They are our friends as well.
Yes. Yes, we will.
Be aware. There might be more coming. Know that they know of your location. Of this location.
We do not fear these morsels.
Good.
If they enter this domain, they will not last long. You are only alive because I was curious about you and your friends. Lucky for you, yes.
And then, without waiting for an answer, it spins you back into. You then feel, you can actually see now what's happening, and it's basically like sticking you to its abdomen, and then the light very quickly disappears as you can feel yourself being carried away. Back over to Letha and Santiago.
I imagine I'm laying inside the chest, arse up, can't really see anything, just a little bit light, and it's starting to get quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're not in a comfortable position at all.
No.
You probably bumped your head on the lid of the chest as you kind of got forced down as well.
Oh yeah, so the lid has also closed a bit over me then, so.
Yeah, probably. Well, no,
so...
I mean the net's probably kind of just pushed it more open, actually.
Okay, yeah, but I bumped my head in it. Yeah, my head is also in the way.
Have you started eating any of the coins yet, or not?
No, not yet. But I have tried to reach them, but I can't really. You know, the last couple of bags in the corner. Yeah. Okay, is it straight in front of me? I might bite the. Yeah.
This sounds like a fun roll. Give me a what's it gonna be? It's gonna be. Is there like some sort of basic strength test? There's a strength skill. Oh, you've only got 1 point.
Strength skill.
Go ahead and give me a strength plus war roll. All 3 dice of it.
Oh wow. Well, I have a basic. Should I risk that? It sounds fun. It's a roll for fun. I'll risk the basic.
Okay.
Nope.
That means it's gone. That means you wiped the one success. Letha can also make a strength test to see, because it's been like 5 minutes you've just been left there. I'm assuming you're kind of testing the bonds constantly.
Sure.
So give it. I mean, you've only got 2 dice, right?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry, is it it's strength?
Gwen also has 2 only. Strength and war.
Well, strength and war would make it 4 at least.
What?
Yeah. No, you've got 1 strength and 1 war.
Oh shit! I'm on the wrong page.
Oh, you're on the wrong page.
Yeah, well, I will try. I will try nonetheless.
Humphrey's the strong one.
Nope. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
You need to get.
That's a basic.
You've got a basic. Okay. You've managed to free like your upper arm, one of your upper arms. Let's say your right arm that was kind of over Gwen. You managed to free that bit up to the elbow, so you can kind of like stretch it, and you can kind of grab some of the other ones, but you feel like when you grab them, your hand's starting to stick to them again. So you're kind of trying to think like, oh, should I try and rip more off, or am I just gonna get my hands stuck in a new position? Gwen failed, so she's also kind of like wiggling a bit.
Well, can she even roll? Doesn't she only have 1 die because she's hurt?
Oh yeah, she is hurt. -1 in war, so she can't even make a roll. It doesn't matter. I rolled for her and didn't get a matching pair. So
doesn't work.
Yeah, she's kind of like makes a few very pathetic feeling like wiggles to try and see what can happen, but she's not really. Nothing's really happening. So with your one hand free, is there anything you want to try? You obviously don't know what just happened with Humphrey.
Yeah, I can't really reach for a lot of things, right?
Pet
So
Snotty.
I will try and see if I can rip a bit of the spider's web
Okay.
to make some more progress.
Go ahead and give me just one more strength test.
No.
Okay. Yeah. I know. It's a pathetic dice pool you're rolling there. I know.
Yeah.
So you start to try and pull something else up, and your hand just gets stuck. As I said, like you get it. You grab manage to grab a big bit that's like near your.
Yeah.
You kind of, I guess your arm was like this, and you can move this bit, so you can kind of like maybe try and reach around to try and like free your neck, maybe, so you can kind of get your head free. But now your hand is just stuck to stuck to the back of your head. This is very
Great.
sticky stuff. Very strong. And at that point, well, I guess
Sorry,
you
that
don't
was-
hear
yeah.
anything. Yep, you don't hear anything. Santiago doesn't see anything because he's all he can see is the dim glow of some coins right in front of your face.
Yeah. Oh, I need them.
But with your head turned to the side, Letha does see a leg once more come into your field of vision, the peripheral vision, into the room, and then you can hear something being placed onto the ground. You think behind you, and then a sound of tearing, and then suddenly all of you can feel like the webbing being like ripped away from you. And as you kind of turn, you see this huge spider in the room.
Do not fear me, little morsels. I will only take this one.
It reaches over with one leg and drags the captain over towards it. He starts screaming as he starts getting like wound into a cocoon. Gwen is kind of watching in both fascination and horror, and as he's wrapped, his face gets covered, his mouth gets covered, the screams stop, and then his entire head is covered, and then the spider pulls it up and goes and bites right into the neck of the squirming mass, and the squirming mass takes a few twitches and then stops squirming.
I'm happy I'm not to your liking, big one.
Leave this place now. Remember your contract, little morsel.
And without another word, it just very silently but very quickly disappears up through the hole in the ceiling, taking the captain's body with it. Snotty's bonds were also freed, and she kind of like ran behind, like just. In fact, we'll say that Snotty ran for the corridor, like absolutely terrified by this giant spider, and has made a run for it.
Oh no, the pins, the needles.
Well, I'm guessing there's gonna be broken stuff before that.
True. Yeah.
So
there's the
Probably.
you're all
Santiago
free.
is gonna lean down and pick up the last bags.
Okay. Gwen says, fascinating.
Yeah.
We should heed their words, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tell us
the
about
letter
contract on the
I
way?
found.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
She goes to the desk and she pulls the letter up. It's not been ruined by the webs, and she tucks it into her tunic.
Let's go, Snotty. I'm like trying to get Snotty to kind of calm down. Yeah.
Running after it.
So Letha threw there a question about the contract.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
tell us along the way, probably, if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humphrey. I imagine like there's still patches of spider web on clothing. Maybe covering the insignia of the TriStar because he's wearing the uniform right now. And yeah, we'll make our way back to the entrance.
Before we are leaving the room, I was like, Blushes, are there any of the books we need?
I don't have time to look through them all.
Okay,
I've found.
Let's move.
I found something that I'm sure will be helpful.
Yeah. Oh.
I look to Gwen. Are you even less alright, Miss Summers? I mean the books.
What? What? What do you mean?
No, nothing. We should go. You're right.
With a light clinging sound of
Maybe
coins
not the best
rattling,
time
I'm moving
right yet.
upwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know where your head's at. How many contracts can a man have? Okay, so you make your way back out. So Snotty is waiting at the where the walls had crushed in, and looks to be very reluctant, even with a giant spider, to try and go through that section again. And in fact, the only way you can get Snotty to go out is by Humphrey and Santiago
behind
going ahead and basically like pushing the walls to make them a bit wider. And then with a lot of coaxing from you, Letha, you're able to get Snotty to go through. You make your way back up. You're looking for the spot where the trap was. You find, because you're looking for it, you do find the holes in the walls where the traps were. You can see where the plank went down, because it kind of like when it went down, it kind of broke the mortar around the edges. So there's quite clear like lines going across. So you all kind of step gingerly over it. That is a huge mug, Carmen. Wow.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Sorry.
Much distraction.
You win.
So if you have a picture of that, that's going to be a mug
Where
shot.
was I? Oh, ba-dum-bum. Okay. Let's get this back on track. Not much further along the corridor, you find a body of one of the soldiers, and he's got this massive like slash. He's lying on his back, and the slash goes from like his neck down across his chest. Like he's been slashed by something very sharp, and there's a lot of blood and stuff. His uniform is ruined. His keysket is lying nearby. Don't know if Humphrey wants to grab it.
I pick it up in case my own keysket is not still lying there, or is probably gone with the webcast and spider.
It's nowhere near the same quality as yours, but it definitely it's taken a crack probably in being thrown, been flung away. So you're not sure what actually worked, but you kind of feel a bit more. You feel a little bit more relieved to actually have something in your hand that hopefully will still fire. You don't know if it's been fired or not either. At the moment, you're just trying to get out, I guess.
Does the soldier have anything? Has anything with him, like any papers or orders or something like that?
You can stop and look through. He's got nothing on him. Nope, no coin either.
Okay.
He had this cloak. The cloak, he's still wearing the cloak. That's the only thing, which is very well camouflaged for in the pine wood itself. So it's this kind of like the right shade of green for the pine wood. It does have a bit of a dusting around the shoulders and around the top of the head from the Dreadwood mold. Yeah. So continue?
Yeah, so we pass him. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I would take the
Did
cloak,
he-
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If no one else does, Santiago does, but I'm guessing it's one of the
So-
hunters should have it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and add that to your inventory. There's a section for your equipment.
Yep.
You make your way further along, and it starts getting light. You see the light ahead of you. You come to the smashed up section where that Humphrey had kind of cleared earlier. There's blood. There's lots of blood all around here, but no bodies. You notice one of their sabers lying on the floor, but otherwise devoid of anything other than blood. Yep. What's the question?
Is a saber something I like to use? Is it marked?
No,
with
it's a
the
crude.
TriStar?
It's a crude. It's not marked with anything. It's kind of a more crude weapon than your Lancetta, of course. I'm just looking at the weapons in the book. I will say that they're it's like a half scissor, which is one of the most common weapons in the house.
Yeah. Well, I'll grab it. It's always nice to have something you could sacrifice if you need something sharp.
And when we talked about daggers before, I think we would go with it being a pin tip.
Nice. Yeah.
So you can add that. Humphrey can add that to his inventory. He took off of the captain. The captain would have also had. He probably would have had something a little bit more fancy, I guess. I'll figure it out later.
And a pistol. You did.
He had the pistol, but he had like a side weapon too, a melee weapon. And it probably would have been a little bit more fancy than a half scissor.
A flaming lancetta.
Maybe he had a. I mean, they use pins in the realm.
Yeah.
And that's favored by the nobility. So maybe he has a pin. He had a pin on him, which is kind of it's like a fairy fencing weapon.
Yeah.
But it's quite you can tell that it's quite inferior. Like it's yeah. It probably has seen better days. Yeah,
the balance is off and it's crudely sharpened. No.
Yeah. It's like exactly the kind of weapon that you would like to be fought against with, Santiago. Because with a deft flick of your wrist, you could probably snap it. Actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of what you find. You then make your way out, and you're putting your masks in place, I assume, as you're getting close. And it's completely silent outside. You see that there are there's been like some scuffing of the ground all around like this area where a lot of feet have kind of kicked up the spores, and there is still a little bit of it, like the fog. It's kind of thick around about up to your mid shins. There's like a thick layer from where it's been obviously been kicked up, and it's slowly starting to settle down again, but clearly takes some time. And it's hard to see the ground because of that, because there's this like a very thick layer of fog or mist near the ground level. But Humphrey, you're able to find your key skit because you kind of think you know roughly where to look for it. You're kind of feeling around, and at one point you pick up a hat, one of the TriStar's hats that they were wearing, one of them. While you're kind of feeling around for your key skit, you also pick up some torn cloth, and it's red, not with blood, but like a dyed red color, which of course is part of the TriStar uniform. They have blue and red uniforms. And then you find your key skit.
Okay.
Now there probably are other things lying around on the ground here. You're not sure. Letha and Santiago, are you looking around as well, or what? Like, what are you doing when you come out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On the ground, or what are you like looking for that sort of stuff? Or what? When I say
Ground
looking
and
around,
up in the needles, perhaps see if it's something been thrown or hidden.
you see up in the needles. Since you mentioned looking up there, you see 2 or 3 shapes that you don't recall seeing earlier. Roughly littling-sized cocoon
That's
shapes.
an odd-shaped ornament. I say odd. Oh well. I'm not gonna open those.
I'll be
Gwen
saving them for later.
Gwen coughs behind her mask. Well,
Oh, are you okay, Blushes?
I wasn't sure we were gonna come out of that. And then she just collapses onto her side. Like, her energy just gives out. Whatever reserve she had, they're gone.
I think Santiago goes up over to her and just checks so that
she's alive. She's
or
not
lies
dead.
down. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if you give her like some slaps, she'll probably come. She'll probably come to. But
yeah, I will do that with my plague doctor's mask above her. Hello.
We should make it out of the mist.
I'm not sure how.
Set up camp and rest.
I'm not sure I can walk very far.
No.
And I step
and her
up
eyes close. She closes her eyes again.
While Gwen and Santiago are talking, I step up to Letha and say, "The spiders won't harm us here. But we should make it out here nonetheless."
We should. I mean, we need to take care of Gwen, and I would rather do it in an environment that is not that hostile.
Obviously, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I didn't want to interrupt Erasmus. Sorry.
No worries, I was just fluffing.
Okay.
Not in that way. So Santiago is just taking care of trying to see. I think she needs rest. Can we rest in here, or should we? How far is it to the edge?
We should move out of that fog and out of the spores. Okay. So
I'll
let's
try
get a bit
to help
further.
her. Could she? Yeah.
I mean, you can. She's not very big. So.
Santiago is not very strong.
You're not very strong.
But he's helping.
I mean, Humphrey could probably carry her out of here, but then he'd have to shoulder his weapon. He wouldn't be able to. His hands would be taken up. You could try and put her on Snotty's back, but the last time you did that, it did have some detrimental side effects with Snotty's trust of people. But in a pinch, that is another option, of course.
Yeah. So Humphrey's looking to Letha. Maybe you could put in a good word with Snotty. Maybe.
I'm not sure about that. Snotty has been through a lot today, like we all. But the spiders won't harm us, you said.
No. Trust me.
Why not?
Yeah, but why not?
I shrug my shoulders. We have an agreement. That's all. Let's get out of here.
All of us, or just you?
Just me, and the benefits of my agreement.
Okay.
We will talk about that later, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk about this. And Humphrey is trying to heave Gwen on his shoulders, standing up as tall as he can, and says, "Later," and tries to head out.
During the short break, you can also see that Santiago is pulling some bags of coins out of his boots and put them into the bag instead. Yeah, easier to carry them this way.
Yeah, you're gonna struggle to be carrying all that loot and Gwen as well.
Santiago?
Yeah, well, priorities.
Santiago, we have pockets on Snotty.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna share, I promise you.
Yeah, want. It's not about sharing. It is about you got your hands full, and we might need those hands. Put it into those bags. They're for everyone.
Yeah, well, it seems to be more for you.
Oh. Oh, that's something I could use. She's kind of running off with a coin.
No, but I didn't mean. Oh. Ah, well.
I've still got 33.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
And
so
she's loading the coins into Snotty's bags, and yeah.
are you gonna put Gwen on Snotty then?
Yeah, Humphrey's carrying you for as long as he can.
Oh right, sorry, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose. Like.
Okay.
And as soon as we made it out of Dreadwood, we should make camp at a safe, secure location.
Okay. All right. Yep, that's fine. There's nothing that happens. You make it to the edge of the Dreadwood. You see it starting to thin. Is when you realize you're getting to the edge. Do any of you look back?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You see, just as you're about to exit the Dreadwood, as you look back, you see a net casting spider. It looks to be the same one that you saw earlier. Hanging upside down from a branch, watching you. But doesn't move, doesn't do anything. It's kind of far. It's almost half shrouded and half visible in the mist.
Okay.
And the others have turned and
you hear a whisper.
On.
You hear a whisper on the wind when you all stop to look at it.
Remember the contract.
Oh, we couldn't hear that. At least I couldn't really understand what you said.
Okay, it might. I figured out why you couldn't hear the special effect thing. It might be that it was too quiet for the viewers or for the audience as well. It was working on the YouTube video, but not in the Discord, which is why you couldn't hear it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll do it again a bit louder.
Something now, but
I'll do it again a bit louder.
Remember the contract.
Oh, remember the contract.
Oh,
okay.
Remember the contract.
So
is that something you need to tell us about?
It's something we talk about later. We just.
Yeah, okay. I'll just remember it then.
Yeah, Humphrey stands there a little bit longer, gazing back into the Dreadwood, then slowly tipping the brim of his head, and turning around to join the others.
Okay.
On march to our next camp. Yeah.
So I think we'll end it there. You make your way a little ways away from the Dreadwood, so there's no risk of taking your masks off and inhaling any of the spores. You make you find a camp, you set a camp, and we'll stop the session there. We'll end the chapter. I think we'll also end the chapter there because I don't want to do necessarily do a return thing. We'll have a little what do you call it? I'll give you a little recap of what happens on the way back. But what we'll do is the next session we'll have then will be a Historian Society session. So maybe we can try and squeeze one in sometime before the next session. I don't know if we can manage that. If not, we'll just do it at the start, and we can kind of have a shorter session afterwards.
Could I just say that I give the other two 11 coins each, and I save 13 for myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're sitting on more coin anyway to start off with, so.
Exactly. And you said we're not allowed to split the coins, so that's why I do it, right?
Filthy
That's
rich.
why.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Add that to your if you want to add that to your character sheets now before we forget.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Woohoo! I don't have 0 coins anymore. I can be stolen from again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our session done. We're just under the allotted time, which is good. Yeah. And chapter 2 finally finished. This is one that was meant to take two sessions. We've stretched it out to 5. So yeah, but we're gonna be doing some progression now coming up, and then we'll jump into chapter 3. Bearing in mind, I want to kind of follow the events that are happening with the wider saga, but from this point on, I'm going to go off the rails. We're not going to be following any written content, or well, not officially. I'm going to be using the saga for inspiration and really going off of what you guys want to be doing. So what I will do is probably between now and our next session, I will let you know in Discord some of the stuff that's been happening with in the downtime between whenever this is ending and we're going to be starting the next one, and ask for what kind of things you want to be pursuing next, whether that means staying with Gwen or heading off on your own or whatever. I'll let you guys dictate kind of what kind of direction you want to head in, and then I'll figure something out from there. Okay.
Sounds
All right.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun for me. Hope you had fun too. A little bit different. And thanks everyone for watching. The usual, hit the like. It helps the channel. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, of course. Otherwise, we will catch you in maybe less than 2 weeks to do this this advancement session, the Historian Society. If not, then we'll catch you in 2 weeks' time if we can't arrange something and do it then. So catch you later.
So,
Right. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Bye
Have
bye.
a good night, everybody.
bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.